Hi guys, welcome back. This is 2000 Gaming again. We're another King of Fighters All-Star content. So now we go to the ugly side of things. So is this gonna be the end of service developer note? So as you can see, you can read this. So they're telling the balancing pool is increasingly approaching. It's very unrealistic challenge to have a balance of new fighters and that contenders can be satisfied with. It's not a new balance. You've destroyed the balance by power creep. Okay, you destroyed it by introducing an UE fighters. Okay, that's the balance that you broke yourself. Okay, you broke, like, there's a saying, like, that's the last straw. Okay, that's what broke the camel's back, is when you introduce the UE fighters and introduce A9 awakening, which is crazy. You need more memories for you to level up your characters to like A5, and like, it's harder for us to make A9 characters moving forward, but like, you made it easier. But still, making A5 units is required for you to level up your characters to A9. Okay, so that's a new tier of awakening, which is crazy. I don't really know, I don't really get it what they did. That they could have made new content. They introduced like boss challenges. They have lots of assets in their arsenal that's not put back. Demon's Bay should have been there midway when while we're farming the cash nuts for Aegis challenge. Boss challenges should be there while we're still doing Aegis challenge, just for more content, for more diversity. People are asking for content, but you didn't give it to us. Instead, you just pumped up new characters left and right, introducing new UE fighters instead of like compounding to the EX fighters. Is what you did as well in the SS and BS fighters. And you telling us that the challenge to have balance or new type of fighters and contenders to be satisfied with is coming to a close. That's crazy. Like, you have lots of characters. There's Ralph, there's lots of characters, man, in the roster. It's King of Fighters All-Star, for God's sakes. And you also put up like different kinds of IPs. You killed the game because of A5 units, and for us to like inadvertently telling us to A5 a unit because you're not gonna clear content end game, and you cannot clear content if you don't A5 a unit. Like, at least it's crazy, man. Like, it's crazy because, like, other games you don't really need to like A5 a unit, A5 a character, because like Wuthering Waves, okay, that's one I want to point out. You don't need like multiple copies of the characters. You can clear content by just having the character. Snowbreak Containment Zone, okay, they're giving us like 100% pulls on 100 pulls. You only need one character and that's it. Nikkei, like lots of games that I'm playing right now, Reverse 1999, only one character and you're good. Here, this is an old mechanic of gacha that you need lots of memories. Netmarble should stop doing this. It's also same in solo leveling. It's also the same in solo leveling, which I don't really like. It's gonna be succumbed to the same fate as you getting lots of memories compared to the newer games right now that they're moving away from such lots of like memories of the character so that you can level up. It's not that one anymore. You can have that option if you really like that character, but you can still clear content. It's gonna be hard, but you can still clear content. But right now, Aegis Challenge, you need at least an A5 character to clear content. Previously, even an unawakened EX character, you can easily clear content in the Aegis. Right now, even if you have an unawakened EX character, inflicting damage to that enemy, inflicting 5 billion damage, forget about it. Okay, that's the time they've introduced the UE fighters. Us requiring us to make a character A5, it's not gonna be sufficient enough for free-to-plays to move forward. They're gonna be killing their account only having one A5 unit in the game. So, like, people are telling free-to-play, I just want to like white knighting a game. No, they're not seeing the flaws of the game. That's crazy. That's silliness. Okay, you need to have a voice. You need to air your concerns. That's the only time you will be heard. Okay, I was like complaining it. I'm the only one who's complaining about what's happening in Kofas. Forgo was also complaining as well. But problem is, there's some content creators out there. I just want to like you know what you know your name. I don't want to drop names, but like you know yourself. White knighting the game is so free to play friendly. Free to play friendly what? It's not free to freaking play friendly now when they introduce the UE fighters. Don't you get it? That's why they're not getting money. There's no player retention. Why? Because once the player clear content and they got their rubies, You need at least 50,000 to 100,000 rubies to at least A5 a character. That's crazy. And now they're left with one A5 character and they can't summon another character moving forward. Because the introduction of the UE fighters, previously you can A3 a character and you're done. Okay? From the tips from the previous, like A3 a character, you're good. Now you need to A5 one unit. Which what? Like takes you what? 4 months to like save up for rubies. Where's the player retention in that? You're gonna be repeating over and over again a gameplay loop which is really boring. And takes time. Compared to the games that I've mentioned, Nikkei, Snowbreak, lots of really cool mini games that you cannot stop playing. They need to stop this old way of doing gacha. Same as Crunchyroll. Been disproven. It's been disproven that it's not gonna work. Just like Crunchyroll pump up lots of pay to win mechanic and end of service. It's also happening in solo leveling. I'm not quite sure if like people are noticing it, because like I feel like solo leveling is just King of Fighters All Star but 3D. Even the introduction of the bosses there, it's almost like reminiscent of King of Fighters All Star. They just improve upon that kind of mechanic moving forward. But still, pay to win mechanic is there. They need to like stop doing those stuff. So yeah, white knighting the game. People back and forth like the white knights telling that it's not gonna EOS, it's very free to play friendly. It's not. Okay, stop with this delusion. Okay, now the delusion is over. Wake up. Okay, the game is ending. I stopped playing the game because if the devs treat you like shit, if they feed you shit and you keep eating that shit and you tell it it's delicious, then it's your fault. And then telling them like, oh, I love this, I love what I'm eating, like full of shit, man. Like I just don't wanna, like, man, like if you feel like you've been misaligned or maligned by the game, you can complain. That the game is not this, the game is not that. You can improve upon this game. And if the devs are listening, just like Kuro Games, just like Snowbreak devs, just like the Nikkei devs, Shift Up, are listening to the player base, it's like an open line communication right now. It's not anymore, I'm not gonna give a shit. I'm not gonna be communicating with my player base. I'm not gonna be telling you guys I'm not gonna tell something and then I just told you just now that it's end of service. So this is a bad representation or bad kind of like approach on how devs are doing in the gacha. You need open line communication because it's a gacha game, it's a live service. Okay, live service lives upon people spending on the gacha. Without player retention, without your free to plays, okay, what will happen to the game? And whales are being disgruntled because they're spending, and power creep is doing like that. Like, it's the ugly side of gacha game in itself. This is the ugly side of Kofas as well. And I think all of you guys, just to like realize this, don't go into sunk cost fallacy. Sunk cost fallacy meaning you spent lots of money and then after the end of service you will feel really bad. You still continue playing the game. But like, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you have excess money that you can spend, you spend what you want to play. Like watching movies, or like, for example, it's just like watching movies. If you watch movies, you pay for that, okay? And once the movie is over, you're happy. You spent money and you're happy. Just like in gacha, you spend money, and then if you're at the end of the day, if it's EOS, it is what it is. You be happy that you spend that amount, X amount, hopefully not much, and then you're happy for that experience because you're paying for the experience, right? Just don't spend too much, okay? That's what gacha games tend to like get you. The sunk cost fallacy. You spend too much, you continue playing the game instead of like you cannot stop because you put in lots of effort, you've spent lots of money in this game, and you can't get out. And then you just spend and spend and spend. That's not gonna be the case. Thankfully, I didn't really spend anything in the game. I spent once because that's just like the Christmas present from my wife. That was a long time ago. And then that's it. And that's like, and after that, EOS, I'm sad that the game is ending, but like, I'm not really, sad in a sense that I spent money because I didn't. I'm happy. So again, for you guys playing gacha game, this is the sad part of gacha. I suggest you spend wisely. Spend what you have. Like, just spend extras. Like, for example, if you don't want to drink coffee, if you want to spend like the $5 on a monthly resource pack, that's it. Go ahead, spend that. That's like you thinking about it. It's just like a coffee, and that's it. Not just like I like it, I spent almost the amount of me buying a car. That's the sunk cost fallacy. You don't get tricked on all of the gacha game. It's a free live service. It's all up to you if you want to spend, but I suggest spend wisely and spend frugally. Okay? So that's what my 2 cents is. Like again, the ugly side of things, the introduction of the UE fighters, A9 characters, no updates, no communication, white knighting, people white knighting the game, telling it's not gonna end. Like it's gonna end. Okay, the writing is on the wall. Once they introduce the A5 fighters, and that's it. Okay, player retention is gone because of, again, once they spent all of their rubies, like 100,000 to like 60,000 rubies just to A5 one character, and that's it. And you're done, practically done. Like for me, I was able to like circumvent all of my rubies. I was able to play at least like almost 4 years without even spending. That's free to play. But when the introduction of the UE fighters came out, like I felt like my rubies are dwindling very fast because like they're almost quote unquote inadvertently forcing you to A5 a character because you cannot progress. So that's just me. They need to stop doing this kind of like old gacha game mechanic of like having lots of memories. Like you need to like summon like at least 10 copies of all. That's gonna be old gacha game mechanics. So technically, thank God that new games are coming up, popping up. You don't really need that much memories to like move into the game, clear those content. As I've said earlier, I'm happy with the games that I'm playing right now. Wuthering Waves, Reverse 1999, Nikkei, and Snowbreak. Those are really, really good free-to-play games, and I can vouch for that. Okay, I can vouch for it. Don't believe the people who are white knighting the game, the King of Fighters All Star. Don't believe on those people that, like, for example, if they make content and they tell like it's free to play, it's not. Okay, like they are like so engrossed on the game itself, they forgot about the flaws on the game. You can call out the bad things in the game and still love the game if the dev team have respected your complaints and listened to that complaints and communicated that complaint. But they didn't really do anything here. Okay, the devs killed the game. Okay, the devs killed the game. It's not solo leveling killed the game, it's the devs that killed the game. Okay, so no more ingenuity on their part, no more imagination on their part. They're just like writing up here that people are disgruntled because they can't like produce more fighters. It's not about the fighters, man. Like F that. Like make content, make good content, make good content for your game, and make it like they should have compressed it much more so that new players are not having problems playing all of those mechanics. Make it easier. So it's a bit unfortunate. I was having fun for the past 3 years, but like it went downhill when introduction of the EX fighters, and it went like to shit when they introduced UE fighters. So just like shoutouts to the people who are white knighting the game. You can speak out if there's any negative things in the game. You can speak out. You can point out the good points, and you can point out the bad points. My English is like I'm eating my words now because I'm so upset right now. So like it's my like that's why I made this 3-part content for you to like listen to what I feel right now. And I'm a bit disgruntled as well. I don't want to end the game. I don't want this game to end. Unfortunately, the devs had made this game end. It's not solo leveling. Like Netmarble's dev, like Netmarble, you can blame Netmarble because they didn't put like resources on the devs, like put in more devs for that game. Because again, money talks. In gacha, money talks. If you don't make money, then that's it. But the problem is, you will not make money if you do certain shady stuff, which you don't communicate, you don't make content. You're not imaginative enough on what you put out. You don't have a timeline of what's happening. Those stuff trickles down to what we have right now, and it's gonna be ending on October. Okay, it's gonna be ending on October, so it's very sad. CM Yuri, this is her note. You can read this one. It's in the forums. Thank you for reading this long notice to the end, and we will do our best to avoid any inconvenience. You've already inconvenienced us enough. So very like I just wish that there would be an offline, so that you can save all of those IP characters. It's really bad that once you end the service, you're gonna remove all of those very, very good collaborations. At least let the players enjoy. That's the least you can do. Put an offline for this, just like what Destiny's Child did in Shift Up. Put a offline mechanic on this game because we still want to enjoy the characters that we have, and we want to play with the characters that we have right now. So that's the least you can do, Netmarble. Okay, I think that would be a good point or a good period on ending the game. Thank you for all of the people who have subscribed to me through the years, and I really, really appreciate you guys. Um, I know King of Fighters All Star has a very special thing in my heart. I made content for this game in COVID times because I feel like this game for me is nostalgia personified. Lots of like new IPs. But again, when the devs get greedy or got lazy, this happens. Okay, it's been a good 5 years or 4 years at least, not five. Okay, but like yeah, comment on the comment section. What are your greatest memories of King of Fighters All Star? What are the ugly memories of you have in for King of Fighters All Star? I would like to hear from you guys. Again, this 2300 game, I'm not quite sure. This would be my last King of Fighters All Star video, maybe, but we don't know. Maybe I might make more, but we'll see. But again, for the people who are like, you don't really White Knight, I think like I got really triggered, like the back and forth drama on what's going on. It's like really petty. You fighting off of a dying game, that's crazy. White Knighting the game, that's crazy. Saying it's free to play, that's crazy. That like it's not free to play, man. Like you need to wake up, and hopefully this will wake you up. Okay. So again, this is 2000 Gaming, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out. Bye bye.